As we know so well, during this past year, the people of Ukraine have experienced unimaginable upheaval. A hostile invasion and attacks directed at civilians have overtaken everyday life. Our community, in response to this emergency, gave over $200,000 in support of the people of Ukraine and donated and sent over 3,000 pounds of goods. Many families in the Jewish community and beyond have sought shelter in safer places around the region and around the world, with the help and the support of the Jewish Agency and other beneficiaries of your generosity. This morning, the Central Synagogue community is honored to welcome Yana, Boris, David, and Camilla Yanover to our community. The Yanover family fled their home in Ukraine, finding refuge in Israel. To share their story and lead us in the prayer for the state of Israel is Yana Yanover.
Here? Shana Tova. Thank you for the invitation to speak here today and to share our story. It's a great honor for me and for my family to be with you all today, this holiday. 1 year ago, we could not have convinced celebrating the New Year at Central Synagogue, but as the saying goes, indeed, man supposes, God disposes. 2 months after the beginning of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, our family of 5 made Aliyah to Israel and settled in Nahariya last April 4, 2022. All of us, including our 2 10-year-old kids and my mother of 81 years old, had been living after a sudden, terrifying siege with missiles, bombers, and military helicopters over our house in our northern suburb of Kyiv. We arrived in Israel just before Pesach. So, the 2,000-year-old dream of the Jewish people next year in Jerusalem is no longer just a dream for my family. I am a Jew born on Christmas, 1966 in Kyiv, Ukraine, in former Soviet Union. My husband Boris, who is here with me today, along with our children David and Camilla, was born in Kyiv in 1961. Up until a few months ago, our family's whole vibrant life was in Kyiv. Boris and I were very active in Kyiv's Jewish community. I worked for several Jewish organizations, organized Kyiv Klezmer Festival, and partnered with many American Jewish institutions to organize cultural events for the city. Until the first explosions, our kids were students at Ora Haim Jewish School in Kyiv. My mother, Maya Zaitseva, is a survivor of the Holocaust, born in 1941 in Slavuta, currently Khmelnytsky Oblast in Ukraine. Her parents escaped from the shtetl on the last military train to Siberia, saving her life. After the war, her family returned to their town. Maya worked as a manager of an insurance company until retiring at 76. She was also very active in the Jewish community, serving as a board member of the Jewish charitable organization Chesed Avot and the chairwoman of the Jewish Women's Club Chava, which is sponsored by the Chicago Jewish Federation. We could never imagine that she would experience evacuation again in her life. We knew our Jewish history, Israel's operation to save Jews in trouble, like Ezra and Nehemiah for Iraqi Jews, magic carpet for Yemenites, Moses and Solomon for Ethiopians. But now, our family, together with our Ukrainian Jews, were living the next Exodus, part of Operation Arvut Israel, Israel guarantees, just like spring. We had decided to make Aliyah immediately after the invasion. My mother, Boris, David, Camila, and I drove to Moldova in own car and were lucky enough to get a flight for Tel Aviv. We left our home and too many friends. Before the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the Jewish community in Ukraine was flourishing and really growing. Soon after our arrival to Nahariya, David and Camila became students of Shuvu school in Accra, where the staff and students warmly welcomed them. Many of their classmates and friends are in the same school, which has made their transition easier. My mother, Maya, received the status of Nitzulei Shoah, Holocaust survivor, by the government. The state of Israel is making everything possible to comfort and welcome her. We came to Israel from one of the largest Jewish communities in the world. You know, the tragic events that took place at Ukraine's Babi Yar Ravine were in September 1941 on Yom Kippur. 33,771 Jewish civilians were massacred over 2 days. It is considered the largest slaughter in a terrible war. Less than a year ago, during Sukkot, my family traveled around western Ukraine to see what was left of the hundreds of Jewish communities that existed before World War II. We wanted to show our kids the proud remnants of Jewish presence in our lands. There was the former shtetl Zolochiv, where Naftali Herzimber, the author of Hatikva, was born. We told our children, then about the importance of the State of Israel and its national anthem, about the heroes born in our land who played the key role in establishing the State of Israel, people like Golda Meir, Levi Eshkol, Yitzhak Ben Tzvi, and many, many others. I want to make sure you also know the special care Israel is giving to mothers and children from Ukraine, whose husbands and fathers cannot travel right now in order to serve in Ukrainian army. Today is a special day because we celebrate the half-year anniversary of our Aliyah to Israel. Our hope, Tikvateinu, became our new home, Beiteinu, and the future for our children, Atideinu. Thank you for supporting Jewish refugees in Israel and standing in solidarity with us. Please join me and my family in the prayer for the State of Israel in English.
You will find at your seats, in addition to your High Holy Day prayer book, You will also find our regular Shabbat prayer book. I invite you to take out the Shabbat prayer book now, the blue Mishkan Tefillah, and turn to page 259 at the bottom. And we rise for the prayer for the state of Israel.
253, sorry,
Nope.
that's my error. 253.
Not 259? It's 259 in mine, it's 253 in his. You'll find it on one of those pages. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shielded beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. Yana, thank you so much for your words and for your prayer.
Thank you.
May you and your family and both of your countries know peace this year.
Thank you for inviting our family here, and only peace is the most important, all the world.
Shana
Thank you.
Tova.
Shana Tova.